Hey guys, it's almost July, so you know what that means. It is time to set up our new mid-year planners, and I'm so excited about our new planners this year. So if you haven't already, grab a cup of coffee because this might be a little bit on the longer end of my kind of videos. Oop. And let's get into it. Today we are going to do a mid-year plan with me plus a July setup in my planner. So it's going to be a little bit longer than usual because we'll be setting up obviously the more goal setting annual parts of the planner in addition to the month. I will timestamp things down below, but I also kind of wanted to make this a little bit more of a chatty video. So instead of this being like so much of a tutorial, I have a ton of tutorials on Goodnotes and things like that on my channel if you want to look for something a little bit more technical. But in this one, will more be just kind of like friends that are setting our goals and doing that kind of stuff together. I also wanted to just quickly chat with you about the direction of this channel in the future. I am making kind of a little bit of a switch in my goals for the year. And again, this is a perfect time to discuss them because I feel like halfway through the year, it's a great time to assess the goals that you set for yourself at the start of the year, in the middle of the winter, and kind of reassess now that you're in the summertime. What of those things have you already accomplished? What of those things aren't even important to you anymore? How do you want to kind of update? And you don't have to wait for halfway through the year to do it. But since we are here, it's a nice little fresh starting point. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. And I've been reflecting a lot about my goals that I had set at the top of this year and what's important to me. We have had a lot of lifing. But what I want to talk about is that I have made the decision to make YouTube my priority for the next 6 months. So if you're here and you're watching this, thank you. And I hope you stick around. I will be posting a lot more here. Up to this point, Instagram has always been my primary place where I post, and I'll still be posting there, but I have found over the last 6 months, I've been on YouTube for a long time, but I've probably only really consistently posted this year. That's one of my goals that I'm so grateful to have set and stuck with. But I have found over the past 6 months that although this is my smallest platform by far, it is my most connected. I'm able to share what I think is the most valuable stuff that I have to say. It's really, really hard for me to teach you how to do something in 1 minute over on Instagram. It's really hard for me to tell you a thorough review in a minute. I don't want to. I'm not trying to drive impulse purchases and impulse decisions. I want to genuinely connect with people, and I find that YouTube is the place to do it. And I know that here is where I have my least amount of people watching. So if you're watching and you want to engage and check up and subscribe, and I will be a lot more active on here, and this is where I'm focused, and I hope that that comes through on camera. And if you're into little mini vlogs and stuff, I will probably start scattering those in my content in addition to the reviews and the plan with me's that I already do and I love to do. So that is kind of the direction that we're going. And of course, we'll talk more about it when we hop over to my desk and get set up on our goals and do our life audit and stuff like that. This new mid-year planner has a couple of new goal setting sheets. I am very, 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 very thoughtful about what I add into this planner. You'll notice that I'm not doing a mid-year version of my Dream Life Big Planner that I made in like 2020-ish. And that's because this is the planner that I use, and I like to have less templates but more valuable ones. So that is what I do. And when I add new templates to my planner, they're very, very thoughtfully crafted and added. I don't want to add additional homework onto your plate. I don't want to add additional homework onto my plate. I don't think that's how anybody accomplishes anything. I think that the purpose of planning is to put in thought and intention into what you want out of your life and give yourself opportunities to reevaluate those goals if you need to change them, and then spend the large portion of your life actually going after the things that you want and appreciating the things that you have. So anyways, that is the vibe for this video. I'm gonna take my iPad over to my desk over there, and if you're doing it with me, we could do it together. I'm very, very, very excited to have a nice little fresh start kind of to the year halfway through it. Okay, so we're looking at the cover of our new mid-year planners, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. Let me know if you guys like this, because I kind of want to make a new planner cover pack with similar vibes. So if you're into something like that, let me know. But I'm obsessed, and we're just gonna scroll into the planner, and I'm gonna go to the index. And the first thing I want to do, this is our year at a glance. The first thing I want to do is do our life evaluation. This is a new sheet that I have in this planner. I used to put this in a freebie, and I probably still will. So if you want that, that's still available. I used to put this in a freebie every year, and I have found it really helpful, and a lot of people find this really helpful. When you're not sure what goals to set, you can kind of go through and rate different areas in your life. I have some extra ones here as well, and you're welcome to, of course, white out and change any of these categories. I just picked really broad ones and kind of see where you're doing, in what areas you might want to focus on in the next step when we goal set, and in what area you are good in and you just kind of want to maintain. I like to use the highlighter at the thinnest setting, and then I think I might do different colors for each of these sections. A little trick that I do is once I fill one in, I will grab my lasso tool and copy and paste in the rest of them. Okay, now that I've evaluated each of those sections, I'm going to use the little section underneath to write in a little blurb, and this is going to be really helpful when I want to revisit it again. I did revisit the one that I did at the top of this year, and it is interesting to see how things shift. So I find it really helpful, especially as I goal set, and to know like what is working and what's not. So don't think about this as like, I don't think anybody has like 5 stars in every category. I don't have 5 stars really in any category, but when something is like 3 or 4 stars, I'm feeling pretty comfortable there. When we start to dip under that, but again, this is like totally your call and how you kind of want to rate all of these little areas in your life. Setting I like to turn off while I'm doing this though is the writing aids and turn off check spelling, because sometimes, since I write in cursive specifically, it'll say that something is misspelled when it just doesn't understand what exactly I'm writing. So, and if you're curious what my pen settings are, I use the ballpoint pen, and I use it in the solid line at 0.5 millimeters. Now that I have this part done, I am going to go ahead and move into my next favorite activity. This is big picture journaling. This is something that I've been doing for years, and I highly, 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 highly recommend it to anybody who has never done something like this before. It's to imagine your life in 5 or 10 years and then decide, are you on that path? You don't need to have this planner to do this journaling exercise. You could do it anywhere. You could do it in a book. You could do it in a Google Doc, whatever makes the most sense to you. Okay, so the next template is another one of my favorites. This is the new Ideal Week template, and this helps you kind of structure out how you're going to get these new goals set up in your life. I honestly think this is more important than goal setting as a general whole. So just doing the life evaluation or the big picture journaling, and then this is going to give you a really strong idea of what you want your day-to-day to look like. And I think, and this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I think where a lot of people go wrong with goal setting, and why a lot of people continue to set goals year after year after year and never feel any better, is because you make these goals that are like, I want X, I want Y, and you don't think about how they're going to get accomplished, or if even getting them accomplished is something that makes sense for you, right? Like, I think that there's a lot of talk about manifestation, and I do believe in a lot of that, but I think that just thinking about what you want to happen isn't going to make it happen. You have to take action on a regular basis to accomplish pretty much anything, and you should only want things that you kind of want to do the actions for, right? So take, for example, being a content creator. I really wanted to be a content creator. That meant that I had to make the goal to create content. And why would I want to be a full-time content creator if I didn't like the process of making content? So those kinds of things need to go hand in hand to create goals that actually make sense, that you want to do and are going to make you happy. Versus if you're like setting a goal, okay, let's say you're setting a goal to run a marathon, but you don't even like to run. So you're probably not going to run, and you're probably not going to run a marathon. And why are you setting a goal, just an arbitrary goal of something that you don't even like to do? Little things like that. Obviously, that's not a perfect example, but I'm sure you can think of plenty of them when you think about goals that you've set in the past. And I certainly can think of plenty of goals that I've set in the past. And then upon reflecting, I'm like, is that a goal I really want? I don't even like doing that action. So maybe I need to reframe. And I try now to only set goals that I like the process of accomplishing. And if I don't like the process of accomplishing that goal, I might need to revisit what the outcome that I want to come out of that goal, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. But the way this kind of works is that I want you to write down all the weekly tasks that you have to get done: grocery store, cleaning your house, when you do your laundry, when you wash your sheets, things like that. And then all of the weekly tasks you want to add. So working out XYZ amount of times a week, going on walks, spending time on your side hustle, spending time for content creation, spending time looking at your finances, things like that. Write all those down and then take those tasks and kind of divvy them up into the ideal week for you, and look at that ideal week and tell me if that makes sense with your life, and then kind of just shift it until it does, until this is like a doable ideal week, a doable routine. You can also do this with your day, but I really prefer the week because there are a lot of tasks you don't need to do every single day. Like, I think if you're looking too macro, like just per day, there are not tasks that you can do every single day that make sense to do. You know what I'm saying? To have a clean house, you don't have to do your laundry every single day. You know what I mean? You can choose to do it one day a week, things like that. So write them down, and I pretty much guarantee this is going to be a big shift in your goal setting if you've never done something like this before. Honestly, let me know down below if you do it and how that goes for you. I'm gonna do this on my own, and then we will do my very, very favorite part to catch on camera, and we could do it together. It's making our new annual vision board. Okay, so this is everybody's favorite part of goal setting. It's making our annual vision board. So I'm going to move this into our portrait, and then we are going to open up Safari in split screen, and so we have Pinterest over here, so we can go ahead and drag and drop. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so I can see more of my vision board and less of my Pinterest board, and I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll through this and pull out things that I find inspiring or might be indicative of a goal that I want. So you can kind of do this two ways. Some people like to make vision boards just to be a place that's inspiring. I do that really for my monthly goals. I just pull inspiring photos. For my annual goals, I like to really be intentional about what I add. So I will look up photos that match with my goals and use those specifically. So for one, well, I really like this. My only competition is my potential. This is one I don't want to lose, so I'm going to move this over here, but I am going to look for some inspiring Pilates images because I really want to exit the intro classes and start doing some of like the 1.5 and 2 classes at my Pilates studio instead of just doing the one over and over again. So I'm going to pull in some Pilates images that I find inspiring and add them to my vision board, and we'll just keep doing little things like that, and we can kind of chat through them, or you can kind of just do yours at the same time. I really like that this is not something I find that I only have to do once a year. And another fun thing I'm kind of doing for this vision board, by the way, is that I made my vision board at the top of this year. So I'm looking back through all of those photos and kind of deciding which one of them makes sense to re-add and which ones maybe I am done with, at least for now. A lot of these are consistent, so that's nice. Okay, so this is my vision board for the year. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ballpoint pen with the white on here and then write in a couple of little inspirational words that go with some of the photos. All right, I'm gonna switch this back over so you guys can see it in all its beautiful, stunning glory. I'm so happy with this new vision board. It is making me happy just to look at, and that is the feeling that you want when you make one of these. So I'm really happy with this. This is really cute. The next page that I have is my annual goals page, and I broke this down kind of by quarters so you can kind of add them that way. I'm gonna do this later, and I'm going to jump over to my month because we have been doing this for quite some time here, and start setting up my monthly plan with me. Okay, so this is the same as I do for every single month. So if you know the drill, the first thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and just get some of our deadlines down that I already know off the top of my head. Then we will go and fill out our goals for the month, and then we will do a vision board and then take some of those vision board photos and put it in our inspiration here. Oh, something about these monthly pages specifically, because the boxes are smaller, I do like to change my ballpoint pen slightly. I will adjust it to 0.35 or 0.3 depending. Okay, so now that I have this done, I'm gonna go ahead and use my highlighter and go ahead and kind of loosely color code everything. Okay, and the next thing I'm gonna do is make a quick little list of what is going on for this month, and then I'm gonna go over to my goal section and do a little breakdown of those. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is hop over to my goal setting sheet and go ahead and write down some intentions, do a little brain dump, what went well last month, and then jot down the 3 goals that I wanna focus on for this month. Okay, so I have my July goals planned out here, and I'm just going to use a highlighter to just quickly put these ones down, and I'm gonna go back over to my monthly page here and write out those 3 goals. And now that we have these 2 done, it's our favorite part, time to do our July vision board. And this is going to be different than my annual vision board because it'll be more like summary focused stuff versus like really goal oriented things, if that makes sense. That's at least how I do it. You can do this however you want. Okay, this is my vision board, and I'm just gonna grab these, take them back over to my monthly page here, and then just resize and use a couple of these for my little inspiration board here. I like that. I'm gonna put this, let's go around slightly. And I'll just like mess with my arrangement to move some to the front. It's another thing I like about Goodnotes in general. All you have to do to rearrange is to tap on the image so you get that border, and then go ahead and click on arrange, and you can move it to front or back. So I'm gonna bring this one to the front. Now I'm gonna go into my sticker section and pull out a couple of stickers that I think are gonna motivate me. This month and add them in. And that is my month planned out and my planner set up. A couple of other things I like to do when I start a new planner is I'll go to home, and the one that I'm using the Portrait Sunday Start version. I'm gonna unstar the one I used from last year and star the one that I'm using now. The other thing that I like to do is update my icon. So I'm gonna go to my front cover here, and I'm gonna export this page as an image that I'm just going to save to my device. And then I'm gonna open up Procreate. I'm gonna duplicate the icon that I made for my last one, and then just go ahead and insert this photo instead. Kind of line those up. And let me know if you're interested in using this icon too as a shortcut, because I'll go ahead and add it to the freebie section of my website. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this as a PNG, or you can make your own. I find that the square icon works better because that's kind of what we have going here. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this bookmark. And then I'm going to open up my shortcuts. Now I'm gonna create a quick little shortcut from my home page to the planner that I'm using for the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up shortcuts, click on the plus button here, and then in this search bar where it says search for apps and actions, I'm gonna search for Goodnotes. And then right up here at the top, I have my Portrait 2024 to 2025 Sunday Start. I know that that is my planner. And then I'm gonna go ahead and rename this just I'm just gonna rename this planner because that's what I wanted to say underneath the icon. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this little drop-down menu here and click on add to home screen. I'm gonna switch to a photo. Oh, not a file. Choose a photo and then click on that photo that we just used, and I'm gonna go ahead, use it and add. Now I have this here, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to my home screen, and now when I click on this button, it will open up my planner. And that is how I set up my planner for a new year or a mid-year, or really whenever you're trying to start a new planner. So if you found this video helpful, please let me know down below. If you want to see more videos from me, let me know that too, because if you comment, it helps me out a bunch around here, and I really, really, really appreciate you. I hope you like videos like this, because if you do, I'm planning on a whole bunch more of them. If you have any ideas as well, let me know that as well, because YouTube is going to be my primary internet home going forward, and that is kind of a risk for me because it is my smallest platform, but the value that I see and the connection that I have with the people that I've met via YouTube has been worth it for me to make that switch. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye, happy planning.